Wait a minute. I know you are all in a hurry, but you really need to know how we got to this moment. In the beginning, it was all fun and exciting. We enjoyed every bit of it. Having to wake up early. Scratch that. The assignments, playtime, events, competitions, field trips, the list goes on and on until this happened.
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has imposed a curfew restricting movements in 3 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, which...
It was indeed sad news, but like the saying goes, when there is a will, there is a way. And we, the students, had an idea that might just work. Before the intended lockdown began, we had an emergency meeting. Before the meeting was over, we all agreed not to test this out more than once, for fear of showing up in the right place at the wrong time. Don't understand what I mean? Just hold on a bit longer. You're about to find out. So we, the students, waited. Then it was time. The day we all have been waiting for, school day. There we all stood with our phones in hand, fingers dying to press the TikTok app. All we had to do was to stick to the plan, and we will show up in school with our uniforms like none of these COVID-19 things ever happened.
No, not again!
What? Before we could all assemble to figure out what went wrong, it was too late. We already had 5 classes that first day. Like my friends once chanted, the human race will survive. Human race found a way. Though we had to wear face masks like ninjas, we were steps closer to reaching our goal, sending the COVID-19 back from whence it came. Now that you are up to speed, I would like to welcome you all to 2020-2021, your 6th graduation ceremony of the Regent Primary School.
Good morning, everyone. The Regent Primary School Board, Mr. Noble, Ms. Ibrahim, parents, friends, family, and most of all, class of 2021. Congratulations. It is great to have you all here in person celebrating this auspicious occasion, rather than through Zoom as we've grown so accustomed to. This has definitely been a year for the books. And when I was writing this speech, it made me reflect on the past. Looking around, I cannot help but notice so many people in the hall from different eras, joining in your era's graduation. We have people here who will remember when Nigeria gained independence and was actually there. We have people here who remember the Watergate scandal in the Vietnam War. We have people here that looked at their clocks in 1999 wondering if the millennium will introduce computers taking over the world. We have people here who remember the unveiling of the iPad, and we even have people here that remember Gangnam Style. And finally, we have you, the era where you fought tremendous odds with an unseen virus sweeping across the world, and despite that, adapting and changing your world. But as we're standing here, we revel in the fact that the pandemic and the new normal didn't deter you. The mere fact that you are standing here today, ready to graduate, shows your resilience in the face of immeasurable odds. I would like to share this message with you today as you go into the future, as you take the next step in this journey we call life. From my experience, I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that is less than you are capable of living. Now, I'm sure in your experience of applying for schools and writing a common entrance, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. I never understood this concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. At least I see where I'm going to fall. Fall forward. Well, let me explain to you what that means. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest thinkers of our time, didn't speak until he was 4 years old. He also failed his entrance exam to the Swiss Federal Polytechnic located in Zurich at 16. And even his father, up until his death, considered his son to be a major failure. After eventually graduating, Einstein actually worked as an insurance salesman, but quit after some time because he failed at that as well. Fall forward. One of the most successful authors, J.K. Rowling. However, unlike what some might believe, Rowling's fame didn't come easy. While she didn't grow up poor as a child, as an adult she struggled. She was a single mother, living on welfare, trying to support her daughter. It took her 7 years to write Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. And when she was finished, all 12 major publishing houses rejected her book. Fall forward. Every failure in life is one step closer to success. You have to take risks. But I'm sure you've all probably heard that. So in life, you will fail at some point. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. There's no doubt, but embrace it. But just like this year with the pandemic, don't give up. Don't quit. Don't stop. And don't ever get disheartened. Grab life by the horns. Take a chance. Take a risk. Believe me, in the end, it's worth it. So draw back on your experience of 2020, 2021. Draw back and come out on top. Remember, you can still be anything. Your slate is clean, your future unwritten. So go out and write an epic bestseller. It is always going to be in your hands. So well done and congratulations, class of 2021.
Good morning, parents, teachers, and students. Nelson Mandela once said that education is the most powerful weapon which can be used to change the world. This is a primary weapon that the Regent School has successfully empowered us with, and I believe that we're all future influencers. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's been here throughout our playground. They've supported us every step of the way. When I first joined the Regent School, I was welcomed very warmly, and over the years as new students came along, I've seen this warmth repeated. This friendliness is one of the qualities that makes Regent School different from others. The three R's of the Regent School: respect, routine, and responsibility. Also values good appointments in other schools, and we hope to carry on with these values as we graduate. The last year has been hectic for all of us. COVID-19 and online schooling have been difficult. The troubles of the internet and children constantly asking teachers for the learning objective. This year was particularly affected as most of us prepare for entrance exams, but here we are today. I'm sure everyone was glad to be back, especially teachers as they no longer had to tell children to stop playing Fortnite during class. Staff and teachers have tried their best to get things back to normal, and I want to thank them for that. We leave here with a lot of great memories: Fun Day, International Book Day, Sports Day, class assemblies, the teachers' competitive and examining rehearsals, Mr. Joseph Hodgson blowing of his whistles, and Mr. Shade's jokes. So on behalf of Year 6, I'd like to say to our parents, guardians, and teachers, it's been a privilege to be part of the Regent Primary family. I want to thank you for that. Thank you.
Freedom is success when we learn from it.
A bumpy ride isn't a stop sign, but a go ahead. Thank you.
Education is like a dance. You learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow.
The brain is like a flower. Knowledge is what makes it bloom.
Always be yourself, be free, never give up, and always follow your dreams.
and the parents. It's indeed a pleasure to be standing before you today to give this speech. On behalf of the graduating class of 2021, I would like to begin by extending my greatest appreciation to Mrs. Gay for gifting us with such a reputable and responsible school with the rights, resources, and infrastructure to pursue our dreams and thrive in academics and extracurricular activities. I appreciate you for being thoughtful and deliberate enough to ensure that we do not miss out on learning during the lockdown by providing online facilities and support during that period. I sometimes wonder what would have become of all of us without that intervention. Thank you very much, Mr. Day. I definitely would not be standing before you today if the headmaster, Mr. Joe, and my awesome teachers did not consider me responsible enough to take on the role of the head girl of this amazing school. I want to appreciate you all for your confidence. It has been an absolute honor and privilege. This role has taught me to be more responsible, as I am always reminded by my teachers that there are high expectations, and I can't afford to fail or disappoint them, my parents, and my peers. That alone is enough to constantly put me in check and on my toes. I would like to especially thank Mrs. Janet and Mrs. Regent for trusting us with the maiden edition of Year 6 Divas Project. Thank you for your guidance and patience with us when we didn't live up to expectations as prefects. Thank you for your support and positive energy that led to the success of the project. However, this project would not have been possible without Zainab Bromna's initiative. Zainab identified with the Puget School of the Deaf. She broached the idea of providing basic amenities for school, and we ran with it. Just a few days ago, myself and other prefects accompanied Zainab to the school for the unveiling of the solar panels she donated to the school, a worthy cause worth. I vividly recall my first few years at the Regent School. They were filled with enthusiasm, curiosity, and cherished memories. I am grateful to my early years teachers for making school fun enough to always look forward to Mondays, to all my teachers, from those who identified my love for writing to those who helped nurture it. Also, to those who took it a step further by introducing me to Michelle Onkamane, a 7-year-old South African and the youngest author in Africa at the time, just to inspire me and encourage me not to give up on my passion for writing. And to those who, when my sister referred to my handwriting as chicken scratches, assured me that my handwriting would get better over time. And it did. Then, to my Year 6 teachers, who worked so hard with assisting me to demystify mathematics to a large extent, I appreciate you. Also, by conquering the fear of figures, I owe you a great debt of gratitude. This reminds me of when algebraic equations were, at a point, responsible for my occasional bouts of brain freezes and mental breakdowns. Thank you for coming to the rescue. The last 9 years at the Regent School have been filled with beautiful memories and adventures. I have evolved from writing weekend blues, events and holiday recounts in lower and upper primary, to eventually becoming a published author in Year 5. It will interest you to know that some of the stories in my books were inspired by my experiences in school. For that, I will remain ever grateful to the Regent School for the well-resourced libraries that availed us the opportunity to take on periodic reading challenges, book reviews, and read rights. In appreciation and in the spirit of giving back, as has been the culture here, I will be donating both books to the upper and lower primary libraries. It has been a long walk of learning, unlearning, and overcoming. But here we are today, ending this chapter and flipping over to the next one. To my peers, this amazing group of humans with whom I have embarked on several adventures. One experience that readily comes to mind is when Moira and I embarked on an adventure. when we made several attempts to convince one of our former headmasters to allow us to give a speech at one of our old school assemblies. But for almost an academic year, we didn't succeed. Eventually, he allowed us to speak. We didn't give up until we got a yes from him. And while waiting for the yes, there were times we felt like giving up. But somehow, we kept on encouraging ourselves to give it one last shot. From this experience, I learned that we have the ability to be relentless and the importance of hard work. To those like Salma, whose drive, never give up, and can do spirits rubbed off on me, I want to appreciate you. And to others who encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone, to try out activities I would ordinarily not take part in, like joining the school's football team. You will agree with me that it has been an awesome experience. So to all my parents, I say thank you. To my sister Carissa, who has been an amazing role model and an epitome of kindness, selflessness, and excellence, I am able to do and still learning to do certain things because of the inspiration I get from her. I recall when I would flip through Carissa's weekend journal just to admire her handwriting and wish I could write like her. I was once appalled by my handwriting and constantly attempted to copy and trace over hers. Thank you for being patient and kind enough to go through some concepts in mathematics with me, even when you had your hands full. I appreciate and love you, Carissa. To my parents and every other parent present today, thank you so much for your love, support, sacrifice, and never giving up on us, even when we sometimes derail. Thank you for your generous donations and support towards the mini fund fair that was put together to raise funds for the Lagos projects. I am glad to announce that so far, over 3.6 million naira has been raised from these donations. But above all, to Almighty God for His protection, provision, and preservation during these challenging times. To the graduating class of 2021, let me leave you with this. Remember that in the past few years, we have all been exposed to the best resources and infrastructure possible. Through these resources, some of us have discovered skills and talents that we are constantly nurturing and will hopefully use to make a difference in the world. And for those who are yet to discover theirs, look inwards and you will find it. And together, we will use them to impact our generation positively. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2021. Once again, it has been an absolute honor and privilege to serve as the editor of this amazing school. Thank you very much for listening and goodbye.
Always believe in yourself and succeed in what you're aiming to do.
With the cake, I'd like to invite the head boy and the head girl to represent their fellows as they've been doing all year round.
So this time I haven't got a lengthy speech prepared because all I want to do is say thank you. First of all, I want to start with Mrs. A and the board of Regent Primary School. Thank you very much for, first of all, having an institution, an establishment like this, offering the type of education we do offer. And thank you for your continuous development and your investment in the education of the children. And this is a prime example today, graduating class. This is a prime example of that education. So thank you to the board. Secondly, I'd like to thank you, parents. Without your support, I said it in the beginning of the year in my newsletter, without your support, the education process is very difficult. It is a three-way communication between yourself, the school, and the students, and only then do we get the results we require or we need. And you saw it. The graduating class, well done. You've had excellent results in your GL, and you moved on to your secondary schools of your choice, so well done for that. Thank you to you for putting up sometimes with the teachers, putting up with the things we throw at you, but coming out and producing the goods. So well done to you. Then to the staff who put all of this together today, Ms. Odinaka and her team, thank you very much for preparing this. Thank you for putting this together. Musicians, thank you. And the Year 6 teachers. Without your support, again, today wouldn't be possible, so thank you to you. For everyone who made this day possible, thank you. And all that's left for us to do now is to do the photos, and then we are, Year 6s, you are finished at the primary school. So you have one day to go. Make it a good one. Make it a memorable one. And as one of you rightfully said, it's not the end. This is just the beginning. Congratulations again.